Test, test, test. Can you guys hear me? Spoon plays for fun. What's going on? Six Tub, what's going on? Justin, I love your videos. You're my PC idol. Oh, thanks, man. Eric Badman, what's going on? Fluted Oyster, what's going on? Six Tub, what's going on? Tha Lion says, thanks for the Omen 45L recommendation. I love it. Added more RAM and more space. This thing is a beast. Nice. Yeah, that was the only thing that was kind of holding that computer down was the 16 gigabytes of RAM, which honestly most games can run to their heart's content at 16 gigabytes. But yeah, that one especially for content creation, if you bump it up to 32 gigabytes, you're gonna have a good time. FPV Fly, how's it going? Zuhar Zuhar Reza, you know if CyberPowerPCs ever have Wi-Fi 6? From my experience, two I got a few months ago only had 5, and the internet was very slow. I thought the CyberPowerPCs did have Wi-Fi 6. Six Tub, while you said my name right. Spoon plays for fun. You got me into PC and VR. Nice. Welcome to the club. Awesome. John the Maven, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Hello, thanks for the stellar content. Would love any recommendations you might have for a quiet gaming audio dev PC for gaming, but also game engine dev, as quiet as possible with balanced perf. Thank you. Actually, let me jump up to a few. John D212, should we avoid NZXT? Just out of principle, I'm not recommending them anymore. The PCs that I've reviewed for them have been quality PCs, but just what they've done with the Flex program has kind of ticked a lot of people off. I actually had an NZXT review I was working on, and I canceled it even though I'd already spent a lot of time on it. But anyways, John the Maven, what's your budget? Because that'll kind of help me figure out what's the best option for you is. All right, I'm gonna go up real quick while John the Maven's working on that answer. Let's see, who did I miss? Jeremy Phillips, Suppy. Six Tub, you're the best when you stream. Appreciate that. Yeah, when I stream this is the real me. When I'm recording videos, I try to make it extra energetic, and I'm not the kind of person that has a lot of very hyped up energy, but especially for the intros of my videos, I try to make them more uppity. Six Tub, bro, I'm asking for an Omen 45L for Christmas. Nice. What specs on the one that you're looking for? Burrito GT43 W win, I'm guessing. Six Tub, hey Justin, how come on some websites the Omen 45L is discontinued and rumor has it that the Omen 50S is coming out? Is this true? I've not been told, I've not had a confirmed that from HP themselves, but I actually haven't looked into that either. If there is a 50 coming out, that would be awesome. Most likely it's probably going to be timed with the 50 series GPUs. John the Maven, your voice is audible, but there's a bit of mic noise, breathing noise when you exhale. Not a huge deal. So maybe I just move the microphone a little farther away from my mouth so you don't hear my breathing. Blah blah, what is the best pre-built companies? So a company that I've always respected as far as quality, they're not the best price to performance ratio. Corsair, a lot of the PCs that I've reviewed for them have been just always top-notch parts. They're the most purchased top-tier PC pre-built company by my viewers. Skytech has the best combination, I think, of price to performance and quality of parts. Jeremy Phillips, I loved your MetaQuest 3 review. Appreciate that. Yeah, I wish I could spend as much time on all of my videos as I did on the Quest 3 video. Believe it or not, that video took a month and a half for me to make. So I can't make that level of a video for everything, but it is nice every now and then to spend that much time on one video. I'm going to go down on this list and highlight what I'm looking at so you guys know who I'm talking about. JMCG, I want the top tier Alienware laptop so bad. Is that the X16? I used to do a lot of Alienware laptop reviews, but then I kind of decided to focus more on gaming desktops just because there's so many people that review laptops right now. Blah blah, do you know what the best pre-builts for 2K? So in that range, I've had to kind of update my list because there's a lot of things that are no longer in stock. But as far as the new PCs that I've found within that range, the Skytech King 95 still has a few that are in stock that are in that exact range. Depending on what you are using it for, if you're doing a lot of 1080p gaming, I definitely recommend the 9800 X3D version for $1,900. I'll go ahead and pin that for you to look at. I'm surprised, honestly, that there are any gaming PC 9800 X3D gaming PCs still available, and the fact that this one they haven't jacked the price up on this one is pretty awesome. Six Tub, you're so chill. Appreciate that. Yeah, I do have more of a laid back personality in real life. Fluted Oyster, is it best to hold out on buying a 4090 and wait for the 5090 to release next month? Budget of 4,300 USD. Have really been looking into the Vengeance i7 500. So I know Corsair is going to be releasing a new version. I don't know if it's going to be 600 or i7 700 or what the new naming is going to be. I haven't gotten a confirmation from that yet on it. They're being really hush hush on that whole release on that, but it's kind of it's kind of a hard question to answer, because I know that when it comes out, it's going to be super super expensive, and they're going to be bought out just like every new release of GPUs get bought out, and then they're going to go up even higher than that. So I don't think it's going to be realistic to buy the 50 series for a decent price or a PC with it until like mid next year. So if you're willing to wait till mid next year, then yeah, I'd say to wait. John the Mavid budget would be around 2,500. Okay. So this is a new list that I have since a lot has changed. I don't have it all memorized by heart. Actually, the Skytech Legacy, the one that I reviewed in the last video, that one is actually still in stock. I'll go ahead and link that one, but that one has a 7800 X3D and a 4080 Super for under $2,500, and that's been locked at that price for months now. Like it didn't budge on Black Friday. It was already at Black Friday prices, but yeah, that one I highly recommend. Spoon plays for fun. Should I try PC VR? Yes, absolutely. The graphics improvement, well, depending on if you have a good GPU on your gaming PC, the graphics on VR are just mind-blowingly way better once you get a gaming PC. JMCG Alienware M18 18-inch gaming laptop. Can't go wrong with that. Nice. Captain Lupo, what's going on, man? Wondering if at 100K you're gonna do a PC giveaway. Um, I wish I could. I haven't been given many PCs these days. The companies that give me computers are usually laptop companies, and that's for um like a sponsored video. And I tend to not like to do that many sponsored videos. 6 tub, I'm doing the Omen 4090 and i9 1000 watt power supply. Awesome. Congratulations. Couple of pranksters, do you trust the HP branded or generic 4080 and 4090s? Yes, absolutely. So, with HP branded GPUs, I know that once you go, I think it's below 4080, like 4070 Super, 4060. I know there's some of them that have uh, the the label is it LHP next to it? Um, that basically means that it's like a lower powered version of that GPU. Um, so I would kind of stay away from those because, well, for one, I haven't tested those, so I don't know how much of a performance hit you get for that. But with my tests on the HP Omen 45L with the 4090, it performed really well. 6 tub, when is the 50 GPUs coming out? I'm not sure. I'm actually going to CES in January, and I'm going to be going to that keynote. I think it's January 5th or 6th. I'm really excited about that because that's, from what I hear, that's going to change gaming dramatically. Nick Doob or Daub, I pulled the trigger on that R16 on Black Friday, the one with an i9 and 4080 Super. It made electronic noises when gaming. Dell support wanted to send a guy to replace the PSU. Huh. Have they already come by and replaced that? Because I had a support issue with the Alienware laptop that I kind of ran too hard for about 3 years, and they sent somebody like the next day. It was a really quick process. 6tub, I've used a lot of your links. Awesome, man. Appreciate that. J McG, the Alienware M18R2 18-inch gaming laptop. You can customize it and upgrade it, and it's a beast. Awesome. Jeremy Phillips, this is my first live stream with Wall. I mean, oh. Jeremy Phillips, I think, I'm not sure, but I feel like I feel like I've replied to a comment before on a video from you. I might be wrong. Nick Doob, question, should I wait on another from Best Buy or drop 10 and put it, should I wait on another from Best Buy or drop 10 and punt and upgrade to the HP Omen with the 4090 or try the Lenovo Legion with an i9 and 4080? Your thoughts on Legions? I think Legions are awesome. None of the Legions that I've seen that are still available can compete with that top tier HP Omen 45L price though. I really don't understand why the Legion didn't replace their top tier 4090 model because I haven't seen it for about a year now. Acity Wormhole, I have the Wormhole. I have the Alienware 4090 PC and it's a beast. Awesome, congratulations. Spoon Plays for Fun, what's the best PC for $1,000? So I have a few that I've curated on my list earlier today that are kind of within that range that are still available. This Yayan Tanto, uh, it actually has a 4070 GPU, so it's going to perform fairly decent at like 1440p for $1,000. You won't be able to run um, like super high graphic settings, but the fact that it has a 4070 GPU um, at just around $1,100 is pretty awesome. I'll go ahead and stream or tag that one for you. But if you're going to be doing like any type of editing or creative work, I would probably go with this one because the i7 14700F is going to do well, better for you with exporting and just the multi-layered editing overall. Blah blah. Thank you so much, Maine. Absolutely. 6-tub. When are the 50s GPUs coming out? I don't know when they're going to be finally released, but I know that the first week in January is when the NVIDIA keynote is going to be. John the Maven, to clarify my goofy super chat, I'm trying to strike a balance between gaming and tasks like video rendering, Unreal Engine work, while keeping things as quiet as possible for podcast recording. Okay, so that changes things a little bit. So video rendering, the 7800 and 9800 X3D CPUs are not the best for. So to get the best computer that is kind of good for both of those, you said your budget was $2,500. Yeah, that Cooler Master with an i9 14900KF. I have an i9 14900KF and it chews through renders or like 4K rendering. I also do some 3D rendering on the side, and it's super fast at that as well. Go ahead and tag that for you. Yeah, this Cooler Master is going to be a beast for you. Oh, what the? There we go. All right, who did I leave off on? I don't want to miss any of these chats. John the Maven, so basically do everything perfectly with 0 caveats. Yeah, that Cooler Master is basically going to do everything that you need, and I don't think that there's a downfall to that PC for what you're going to be using it for. Six tub, would you say that the Omen 4090 45L would be easy to take out the HP 4090 and put the 5090 when it comes out to replace it? Or would you have to get a new PC if that makes sense? No, I don't think you're gonna have to get a new PC. It sounds like the length of the GPU isn't going to be changing that much. But just like a lot of the other GPUs, it sounds like it might be getting thicker, and there is room underneath the current 4090 and the HP Omen 45L to add a thicker GPU. Is the Vengeance i7 500 notably louder than the Aurora R16? No, I don't think it's noticeably louder than the R16. The Vengeance i7 500 has more customizations with the fans, and I think by default the RPMs on the fans run faster, but if you had the RPMs running the same, it would sound fairly similar. But I mean, the R16 will be slightly quieter because it has less fans. But the Corsair PC has higher quality fans which don't produce as much noise. So yeah, I don't think it's going to make a big difference. John D212 is the Vengeance. Oh wait, sorry. Jeremy Phillips, you got me into PC gaming, and also when you released the MetaQuest 3 review video, I also got the Kiwi Design K4 battery head strap. Awesome. Congratulations. That one's pretty awesome. Spoon plays for fun. You make the best PC reviews ever. Appreciate that. Generation 2434, Justin does a great job. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Tyler. Fluted Oyster, you think those tariffs that get placed will drastically increase the price of 2025 pre-built? I really hope not. I can't say for sure how that's going to change things, but I would think that the tariffs would have an effect because of how much is produced outside of the United States. Jeremy Phillips, you have replied. 6Tub, would you say the price for the HP Omen 45L 4090 is at a good price, like I said above with the i9? Oh yes, so that's the reason that it's currently the only PC in the best top tier build deals that I have down here. There was one for the R16. It used to be $1,000 for the i9 4090. Now the R16 is $3,600. So it went up $600 since Black Friday. So I can't recommend that one anymore. That's higher than I think it should be for a proprietary pre-built like Alienware. Would you say the Razer Blade 16? Should I get a Razer Blade 16 i9 and 4080? I haven't really spent much time with the newer Razer Blade laptops, but the one that I tested a couple years ago was awesome. I loved that thing. The audio quality of the speakers on Razer Blade laptops are pretty much better than any other gaming PC I've heard. There's a Legion with a 14900 4080 Super for 2300, over $800 off. That's the one that I'm looking at. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. 14900 4080 Super. Let me look that one up real quick. Yeah, you're talking about this one? Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. I think I still have Lenovo in my affiliates. Yeah, I have it down here. Where's that comment? Nick Dobe, if you do end up buying that PC, could you click on my Lenovo link first to take you to Lenovo, and then buy it through that? You don't have to, but it helps the channel out tremendously when you guys use one of our links before you make a purchase. Chenmu, what do you think of the RDY Y60? I've been thinking about getting it, but I'm on the fence. So this is a Y60 right here, and it's between this PC and the King 95. Those are my two absolute favorite cases. Just the wraparound design. This one that I have here is kind of one of the more premium versions of a computer with this case. It's more like this Velstorm LCD Pratex that I have linked in here. Actually, let me go to that one so we can take a look at it. Yeah, this one right here. No, it's not $5,000 and $8. Let's change these settings to something more modest. Yeah, so this is more similar to the one that I've got right here. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about having a heads-up display for all of your stats just right there on the outside of your computer that I've always loved. But yeah, between the Height Y60 and the King 95, those are two of my favorite cases. Dang, these things get expensive, like $10,000 for some of them. $10,000. Jeez. Yeah, it is a bummer to have a PC with only 4,000 megahertz RAM. 6,000 is what I always try to aim for. But at the same time, it's a great price, so it's kind of it's kind of an understandable trade-off. John the Maven, thank you. I have to go now. I look forward to seeing all of you in the battle bus on Fortnite. Nice. Nick Dubes, that's Nick Dube at Spoon Plays for Fun, the one that retails for 3,300 and was on sale for 2,500. Six Tub, Omen or Alienware. My grandpa says that Alienware with the 4090 and stuff is better than the Omen, but it's like a bit more money. What's the difference? Um, I think from my tests, the HP Omen 4090 was only just slightly not as fast as the Alienware R16. But the fact that the R16 is now $600, no, it's $700 more expensive than the equivalent on HP, you're not going to notice the performance difference if you had both PCs next to each other. So I would go with this top tier Omen 45L right now versus that. I'm not even recommending the top tier Alienware R16 anymore just because they took it up to some insane prices right now. There's a Legion with an i9-14 900K and 4080 Super at Costco wholesale for $2,000. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Oh, 4080, not Super. So that must be an older PC for them to still be using a discontinued GPU. Nick Dub, I used your link to Best Buy. I'll use the link for Lenovo too. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. John D, the iBUYPOWER trace mesh for $1,000 at Walmart is showing out of stock for me using the link in the tagged products. Is that... It's kind of frustrating that Walmart, I literally have to, there's been a couple computers I've had to do this on where I literally have to put it in my cart before I know if it's actually in stock or not. Because it'll say it's in stock, and then once I put it on in my cart, it's not. Let me double check so I can take it off the list if it is out of stock. Yeah, it's saying right now that it actually is in stock. But then here, I'm not sure if this brings up my address once I put it in my cart. Buy now. Or add to cart. It must be location specific because I'm all the way up to the point where I actually click on place order, and it's saying that it would arrive December 9th if I bought it right now. Huh. Well, I'm in Texas. I'm not sure if it's in other states it's not showing available. I would assume that it would, though, if you're in the United States, it shouldn't matter because this is shipping. Jack G79 Lenovo Legion 7i liquid cooled gaming desktop 14th gen Intel Core i9 14900KF with a 4080. Oh, you're looking at that. The 4080. Oh, so I don't see that. Oh, you're talking about the one not directly from Legion. It makes no sense that computers don't come with 4 terabyte, 2 terabyte. Yeah, I think they should at least give you that option. A lot of times when computers do include that much, they significantly rip you off with how much they upcharge for that, because adding in your own is not very expensive. And I know a lot of people that actually already have their own, so they don't want to they don't want to have to buy something that they don't have a use for. And your search, I will never buy Intel again after the 13th and 14th gen flop. Yeah, I can understand why you might feel that way. With all of my testing, um, I don't really have any fears about where they're at right now. My i9 14900KF, I've done so much testing after the BIOS update and have not seen any type of overvoltage issues. So I believe that it is fixed, but we'll see. It's kind of a waiting game for any type of tech release. You don't really know how long certain updates are going to last, or certain new. We don't even know how long the 9800X3D's lifespan is, because it hasn't been out long enough. Chenmu, sorry, I meant the iBUYPOWER Y60 pre-built on their website. The Y60 is the case it uses. Yeah, that's actually what this is. This is an iBUYPOWER Y60, but I bought this screen on the internet to kind of make it look more like that Velstorm PC. Jack G79, yeah, it's on the Costco wholesale website. Spoon Plays for Fun, did Black Friday already end? Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, Cyber Monday was just, as far as what was available, was just nowhere near how many good deals there were on Black Friday. I feel like I missed a few comments, maybe not. I ordered a CyberPower SLC 10200 CP for 1300 from Best Buy this past Monday. I'm getting cold feet due to all the best word about the brand this past week. Should I give it a try or cancel my order? The best word about the brand. I haven't heard anything going. I haven't heard anything going on with the brand. If you want to fill me on what you saw. Six Tub, when will your next stream be? I think in December I'm gonna try to do one every Saturday. Just because there are a lot of last minute shoppers. It's a big month. November and December are when the majority of people decide to buy high ticket items like that. So to help out as many people as possible, I'm going to try to do one every Saturday. Any concern with HP Omen using 13th gen and not a 14th gen? No, the fact that Intel tried to sell a new CPU and just put the number 14th gen or 14 on it was kind of disappointing because it's basically the same CPU. There's almost no difference in performance between the 14th gen i9 and 13th gen i9. Um, and any tests that kind of show there being a difference, it's like within margin of error. So sometimes it could just be silicone lottery uh, type improvements and not really the processor actually being better overall. Do all new computers with the i9 need the BIOS update, or do manufacturers apply it on their end? I can't say for sure on every single brand, but the past two computers that I've bought um, since the new BIOS updates have already had the BIOS updates installed. I would think to um, just save their own RMA process to save them from having to do more work and lose money, that would be their first priority before sending out PCs to people, to not have to get anything sent back to them or have to replace CPUs because they didn't do that in the beginning. Um, but yeah, I can't say for sure about that. What's the Braden Meyer says, what's the best budget Intel processor to find in a pre-built? Um, the i5 1400F. Oh, so you're saying, let's see. No, this is somebody else's price. The i5 1400F is a lot of value for your money. So that's probably the best budget Intel processor right now. Jack G79 Zotic PC has a beautiful Y60 with a 4K touchscreen and a 4080 Super. They make beautiful machines, but it's literally like $3,700 pre-tax. Yeah, once you start getting up into the fancy stuff, it starts getting expensive. Jeremy Phillips, are you going to review a Razer Blade laptop in the future? I don't think so, unless they reach out and they want to do um, some sort of sponsored video, then I'll do more of like an overview of it. But I've kind of strayed away from laptops just so that I can kind of focus this channel on one specific niche. Because if I did too many things, I feel like I wouldn't be as much of a go-to channel for anything specific. Because I'd be trying to be good at everything or knowledgeable of everything without striving to be the best at anything. I want to eventually be the best pre-built gaming PC channel, as far as the information that's out there. Spoon plays for fun. Gotta go, but thanks for the recommendations. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Football, sorry, was supposed to say bad. Football 9 says everyone is saying CyberPower brand gives bad SSD and power supplies and getting blue screens, so not to buy the brand. So I think what you're referring to is the SLC 9000 BST CyberPower PC that was available for an insane price of $13.50, I think, during Black Friday. That one was the most sold PC that I've ever seen in November on this channel. There was if you go to my review for that video, there was a Windows issue or Windows update issue with one of the SSDs. So that was what was causing that error, and people um, that did the fix that I put on that video or in the description on that video told me that it fixed their issue. Yardbank says, hello, I saw your review on the Corsair One i500. Can I ask a question? Is it more of a small form factor? Is it more because of the small form factor that adds to the heat issue? I saw the review on Gamers Nexus also about the heat issue. So it's kind of a um, there's multiple reasons why it performed hotter than most. Um, one of the biggest reasons was they only used one fan to cool the CPU, and that was just kind of crazy. Um, and they also used some slimmer fans than they needed to when they could have gone thicker. But yeah, the tight smallness of that computer made it uh, basically kind of suffocate itself and not be able to release heat fast enough. Jack G79, I bought my son the Omen 35L. 8700G 4060 Ti Best Buy for $1,000. Now they're like $1,500. Those 35Ls are really cool. No proprietary parts. Everything can be upgraded. So everything, the only proprietary part on the 35L is the motherboard still, unless that specific one isn't using an HP motherboard. But I'm pretty sure that all HP pieces, HP PCs use HP motherboards. Matt Varco, what PC would you recommend for an Australian to buy? That's a hard question to answer because I'm not aware of uh, specific PCs that are available in Australia. Um, so I can't really answer that question. Spoon plays for fun. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back. Gambit, what are your thoughts on the Corsair Vengeance A700 with a 4060? Let's go to that one. So I'm assuming you're talking about the A7600, the newest one. Oh, is it the A7? Oh, I keep forgetting that there's a different number depending on if it's Intel or AMD. So it must be the A7500. So probably talking about this one. Love that case. $1,700 for a computer with a 4060, I think is a bit steep. How's the price changing to go 9800X 3D? So even that's a little steep for a 4080 Super. But yeah, the version, so 9600X CPU. Yeah, $1,700. That's just, I guess if you're wanting to upgrade from this, it makes sense if you want to upgrade eventually. But if this is going to be your PC for a long period of time without doing any upgrades, I think $1,700 is a bit rich for this PC. Because if you go to my list for $1,700, this is what you can get. So iBUYPOWER is kind of a inferior brand to Corsair. Same with AVG PC. But if we step it up just $100 more than that and go to Skytech King 95, you can get a 7800X 3D with a 4070 Super. Or if you want a more balanced CPU that does well with productivity tasks, you can get the 7700X CPU that's not as good at 1080p gaming. But it's also got the 4070 Ti Super, which is a better GPU. So I'm going to go ahead and tag that one because I would actually get that over that version of the Corsair PC you're talking about. All right, let's see what I missed over here. Tech renamed. What's a good PC or for large language models? Um, that is a question that I've not had before. Oh, okay. So further down, you said also what's a good PC for machine learning. Um, PCs like that are going to do really well with a super fast CPU. So if you go through this well, I need to know your budget too. You're also asking about should I get the 5090? Only if you're doing mostly high res, like 4K gaming. If you're doing 1080p gaming, or you don't even have a 4K monitor, or if you don't have a monitor that has a fast refresh rate, you're kind of wasting your money because you can't even see all the frames per second that you're actually pushing from the GPU, if that makes sense. Jeremy Phillips, see y'all later. Jeremy Phillips, oops, didn't mean to add the slash. So tech renamed, if you could tell me your budget, will probably help you out a little bit better on finding the right one. Gambit, the price is around 1600 USD. Let's go back up. Yeah, so I think you're talking about. So the one that I saw was 1700. Are you looking at like a Best Buy version of this PC? Because I don't think there is such thing as a A7600. I think there's only an i7600. Ch Chair IDK, I bought the last box of a iBUYPOWER Y40 at Costco. How good is the PC, especially for productivity and rendering? So you got an i9-14900F. That's a great processor for editing. The 4070 Super, that's a pretty good GPU as well. Um, doesn't sound like you're asking much about gaming. Um, so yeah, that was a pretty solid choice for productivity and rendering. Philip Scott, I just got a Prism 3. Was that a good investment? Um, so the Prism 3, does that still use the Leon Lee case? I'll probably need to know the specs of the specific one that you're referring to because there's a lot of different versions of the Prism 3. Skytech Prism 3. Guess that's a different case than the Prism 2. Let's see if it says on the Skytech's website which case this is using. Huh, so the Prism 3 here is a different case than this Prism 3. That's interesting. Nubby Cake, thanks for the sub. Did I say that right? Nubby Cake. Prism 3, okay. So all these are using the same case. I actually haven't reviewed a PC with this case yet, but the overall layout of it seems pretty similar to the Leon Lee case from the Prism 2. What does it say the case is? Case Prism 3 white. Oh, okay, well. Spoon plays for fun. I got a Nintendo back in 2020. Should I get the new OLED version? I feel like if you already have the old one, it's not worth the investment to get the OLED version because you're basically rebuying the same the same gaming system. I haven't researched too much on the newest Nintendo Switch, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it has the same performance as the non-OLED version. It's just, I mean, OLED is beautiful. So yeah, for sure I would get that one if you don't already have a Switch, but I don't know if I'd spend the money to upgrade to that unless you're going to be gifting your old one to somebody. Tech renamed, wow. Jack G79 tech renamed. I think that's going to depend on the ladder logic language you use. Sounds like you guys are both speaking the same language, something that I'm not too familiar with. But Jack G79, thanks for stepping in because I'm not too versed on um, machine learning. Tech renamed, but seriously, it's worth it. Yardbank, thank you for the response on Corsair. I always thought that since it was considered high price, high end buy, that companies would engineer it better. Tech renamed, if you're in ML. Philip Scott, I just got a Skytech Prism 3. Was that a good one to get? This will be my first PC tower. I reviewed the Skytech Prism 2. I have not yet reviewed the Skytech Prism 3. But from what it looks like, it seems like a pretty good build. Tech renamed, my budget is 5,000 USD. Okay, so let's go back to what you were referring to. So, tech renamed with a budget of $5,000. The CLX Horus with an i9-14900KF and 4090 GPU, that's going to be like the fastest of the fast computers. But honestly, like even stepping it down to the Velstorm, they both are going to have similar performance. I have the last CLX Horse that I reviewed. I don't have personal experience with the newer one, but the last CLX Horse that I had was a very good PC. The MSI Infinite is the only one out of these three that I've recently reviewed. But yeah, I mean, this one's got an i9-4090 as well. The GPU was super cool on this one. But yeah, as far as machine learning, you're going to want a CPU that is super, super fast, and the i9-14900K has that. I'll also use it for GitHub projects. Gambit, yeah, that's it. Tech renamed, should I get the Intel i9 with 50 or more RAM to run at least 20 billion parameter model? That is something that I'm not able to answer. I'm sorry, I'm just not very versed in that type of language. Philip Scott, I got it with the i9-14900K with the NVIDIA RTX. I'm guessing that you meant the 4080 Super. 1480 Super, I don't think that's a thing. Tech renamed, it's not ladder, it's large language model. Spoon plays for fun. I've used the OLED version before and it feels better and I think it has more storage. Okay. My main monitor that I use is an OLED PC, way more expensive than my secondary monitor. But yeah, the OLED just looks way better than my non-OLED for sure. Actual, you need a lot of RAM for LLMs. Jack G79 Skytech Rampage just. John D212 is 6000 speed DDR5 RAM, noticeably faster than 5600. I believe it'll give you like a 3 to 5% bump in FPS between those two. Anything past 6,000 is not going to be noticeably better. But 6,000 tends to be like the best pairing, um, the best number to hit as far as like um, your value for your speed, as far as like how much you're spending for that RAM. Philip Scott, yes, sorry, 4080 Super, my bad. Tech renamed, actual, yes, I know. Jack G79, Skytech Rampage is on sale, Newegg right now. I believe that's one that I've got linked in here. Skytech, yeah, Skytech Rampage, I believe, was kind of halfway down that list. Oh, you're looking at a different model, or are you? Oh no, that's the same one that I'm looking at. Yeah, that's the one that I have linked in here. This one for 1380. I found that one today and I was like, well, yeah, that's a killer deal. I'm putting that on the list. Tech renamed, but to run safe tensors and to train a LLM or stable diffusion model, you need a GPU. Jack G79 1350. We must be looking at a slightly different listing with the same specs then, because the one I found was 1380. Tech renamed, if you build a PC yourself, it will cost less, right? Uh, in most cases, it does. For some of the lower tier, mid-tier to lower tier PCs that I found during Black Friday, there was quite a few that were actually, or even the week before Black Friday, there was quite a few that somehow the pre-builts were less expensive than buying it yourself, or than building it yourself. Spoon plays for fun. I think I'm gonna get the OLED Nintendo. See you later. Congratulations. If you buy Spoon plays for fun, if you do end up buying uh, or wanting to get a Nintendo, if you get it from Best Buy, could you use my link to get to Best Buy, the one that's in the description? If you scroll all the way down, should have a basic Best Buy link that'll take you to the homepage. Or if you get, I'm not sure if Newegg has it, but if you click on, a lot of these computers are on Newegg. Some of them are on Walmart. If you click on one of those computers and then decide, and then go ahead and um, search for a Nintendo, I think they'll give me credit for that. Um, Jack G79, sorry, I must have missed it. Nick Doob, I pulled the trigger on the Legion, going to refund the R16 when Best Buy gets in my replacement. I used your Lenovo link, so hopefully you get the credit there. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Have you heard more info about the 4090? I believe you're asking about the 5090, and no, I haven't been given any insider information about the 5090. Even all the brands that I work with, they're being very hush hush about even providing me uh, if they will be having any pre-builts available with the 50 series GPUs come Q1 of next year. So I don't know why they're being as hush-hush as they are about it. But we'll know a lot more the first week of January. Nick Dub, keep up the good work. Appreciate that. Thanks for spending so much time live during the holidays. Absolutely. Love being able to help you guys out one-on-one. Yeah, I think with the 5090, it's just I'm really excited to actually go to that keynote in person and hopefully get some good news that day about which pre-built companies that I'm working with will have uh, machines already implemented with the 5090 or will soon have them after the announcement. Chair IDK, how low would you say the price for 1440p OLED monitors could be by next year and further down the road? Thank you for the response. It depends on how long the specific monitors have been on the monitor or on the market for. Because when new monitors come out, they try to act like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, even though there's like just only one new feature that they're adding to these monitors. But current OLED monitors, I would think would probably drop $300 to $400. The Alienware 34-inch curved monitor that I'm pinning to the video right now, this one I did a review for last year, and I believe when I reviewed it, it was $1,200. It's a beautiful monitor, 34-inch curved QD OLED gaming monitor, and I'm pretty sure even during Black Friday last year, it only came down to $1,000. So the fact that it's only $650 right now is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, the monitor that I have is my main monitor, the LG OLED 32-inch. It's a standard aspect ratio monitor. It's 4K, but unfortunately that one went up significantly in price. Let me go to Best Buy real quick. Or actually, let me go to LG's actual website. Maybe Best Buy jacked up the price higher than it should be. Oh, do they not even have oh, there it is. Yeah, it went up $400 since Black Friday. It was $1,000. What about the 45-inch monitor, the widescreen? I love that one. So there's a 34-inch. Okay, so the 45-inch, oh my gosh. This monitor went up $700 since Black Friday. That's insane. Why do they go? They must be low in stock right now to justify that kind of price gouging. This is about how much this monitor was over a year ago when it first came out. Because I did a review on the Corsair Xeneon Flex, which was a 45-inch. Used the same panel as this LG Ultra Gear actually, but it was flexible. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, $1,700, that's ridiculous. Karthik, Ramesh, Justin, love the work you do and how you're helping people. Appreciate that. My pleasure. Isaiah, check out the CyberPower pre-built PC GLX 996617. Okay. CyberPower GLX 99617. Looks like that one's out of stock right now. Yeah, I think I've seen this one before. So as far as the price, 7800X 3D with a, where's the GPU? 4070 Super. Yeah, it's a pretty good price. That one CyberPower PC that I reviewed last week, that was at $1350, just an insane price during Black Friday. Went out of stock at 3 a.m. on Black Friday though. It didn't last long. And now it's actually back in stock on Best Buy, but it's $1,700. So it went up $400 since then. Tech Renamed, is anyone here in machine learning? Just asking, not trying to be invasive. Football 009, do you think someone should avoid a current PC deal and wait for the 50 series pre-builts? That's all just depending on if you're wanting to spend. I predict the new 50 series pre-builts once you actually can get them. And because they're going to be 5090 GPUs are going to be so in high demand and not high stock there's not going to be a high inventory of them right in the beginning. I predict they're probably going to be uh, about $500. Those pre-builts are going to be about $500 more than current i9 4090 PCs or 9800X 3D 4090 PCs right now. Machine learning as in programmable logic controllers, PLCs for automated matchables. Tron, any last minute gaming laptops? I wish I could give you some information on that, but I feel like I would be doing a disservice since I am not deeply uh, integrated into that side of things. I used to be. Jared's laptops or Jared's tech. He's one of my favorite laptop reviewers just because he's so data rich. Like he compares pretty much all of the main gaming laptops, and he does a really good job at it. Tech renamed is Z790 for Intel okay? Yes, yep, it's okay. The newer Z 890, I've heard there's some issues with the new CPUs, but I'm predicting that to be fixed after the motherboard manufacturers kind of figure out how to work the best with the newer Intel CPUs. Chair IDK, I've seen so many discounted devices go out of stock before Black Friday, and then they did not go back in stock at the same discount price even during Cyber Monday. Yeah, unfortunately, Cyber Monday doesn't seem. I don't know for other industries because I don't really buy that much outside of my industry. But for gaming PCs, over the past few years, I've never seen better prices on Cyber Monday than Black Friday. I feel like Cyber Monday has just become just a word that they throw out nowadays to try and get people to still spend money after Black Friday. Braden Myers, CyberPower GXI 3200 BST on Best Buy on sale for $839. Would that be a good gaming PC to run 1440p on Black Ops 6 and Forza? So what's the GPU on that one? Let me look up that model. GXI 3200 BST. So this one has a 4060 GPU with 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Um, so no, I wouldn't say that this is gonna do well at 1440p. Um, yeah, I don't recommend uh, high resolution gaming on this GPU. But let me find something that for close to the same price that I feel like would do a better job at 1440p gaming. So yeah, anything under $1,000, you're not gonna get anything better than a 4060. At least with the iBUYPOWER trace mesh, you get a 4060 Ti, and I believe that specific one has more than just 8 gigabytes of VRAM. You actually click on that link. Nope, that's an 8 gigabyte version of the 4060 Ti. I mean, the 4060 Ti will be faster, but the fact that it still has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, um, I mean, unless you're fine cranking the graphics settings of your games down to play at a higher resolution, then I'd say it's doable, but I wouldn't say it's going to look beautiful at 1440p. Tech renamed, I'm not trying to flex, I'm trying to get more tokens per second on LLMs. You can search up what LLMs are. It's what ChatGPT is made of. Oh, wow. Yeah, ChatGPT is way over my head how any of that AI programming works. Just blows my mind that people have figured out how to get computers to basically think for themselves. Rose Mozillo, thank God for your videos educating me about gaming PCs. I've learned a lot. I'm having the hardest time choosing, looking to spend between 1,000 and 1,200 to play various games and play on servers, etc. Thank you. Okay, so 1,000. I'm glad that you're above 1,000, because that's when you start to get GPUs that are going to be able to handle um, better graphics. So in that range, so to not go above 1,200. If you're doing higher resolution gaming, then you're going to want something like this Yayan Tanto with a 4070. But if you're focusing more on 1080p gaming, then I would go with this i7 14700F version with a 4060 Ti. But if it were me between those PCs, I would get the one with a 4070 Super. I mean, not 4070 Super, with a 4070. Triggity check out or Jack G79 says, Triggity check out the gaming laptop deals. It's Jared's gaming laptop site that he just mentioned for the best gaming laptop YouTubers. Yeah, anytime that like when I was first starting out, I was reviewing a lot of gaming laptops. Um, I was nowhere near as good as Jared was. But I would always watch his videos when there was a similar version of a PC that I was reviewing, just to kind of take notes and try to provide as good quality information as he did. He's kind of more of a drier personality, just uh, not very animated at all, so it is slightly boring information, but I feel like he does some of the best jobs that I've seen for laptop reviewers as far as the raw data. Tech rename, do Intel CPUs get hot, and how hot will my PC get with a 5090 if I ever do build it? Well, the new 5090s are supposed to be from what I heard, they are going to be more efficient when it comes to how much power they use. So I feel like the increase in temperature isn't going to be at, I know I have a strong feeling that the increase in performance is not going to have an equal increase in temperature, if that makes sense. I also believe that the thermals, the fans on the newer GPUs are going to be better optimized and designed better to account for cooling the GPU better. But it also kind of depends on how you set up your case. If you have a case with not enough fans, then yeah, your Intel CPU and GPU are going to get too hot. I don't think any Intel CPU that's above an i7. Rose Mozilla, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. I don't think that any CPU that's above an i7 should ever have less than a 240 millimeter liquid cooler. When you get up to the i9s, I really think you're better off to always go with a 360 millimeter liquid cooler. Karthik Ramesh, tech renamed, unfortunately no. When I tried to do that, turned out to be about 2600 or so, not to mention that the 9800X3D is sold out. Jack G79, you're going to want to see Jack G79, then you're going to want to see an AI engineered, not a gaming PC YouTuber. Tech renamed, a gaming PC has the power and is in my budget to run AI programming in Python and PyTorch. If you didn't know, NVIDIA has CUDA cores, which is essential for machine learning. Jack G79, he has a very information heavy approach and is a lot less about entertainment. Tech rename, not to mention large language models and image generation tools by Gradio. I would like to game too. I play Microsoft Flight Simulator sometimes, but on the cloud. Sean Farrington someone suggests this build on Reddit constantly at Walmart for $1,200, the CyberPower Gamer Supreme with an AMD Ryzen 7 7700 and a 7900 GRE SSD black. Let me see if I can find that one. You said it was at Walmart. So here's that PC. It's got an AMD Radeon RX 7900 GRE. I haven't personally tested this specific GPU, but let's go ahead and compare it to other NVIDIA GPUs and see where it stands performance-wise. So 2900, or not 2900, what was it again? A 7900 GRE. So on this list we have the 7900 XT, but not 70. Oh, here we go, 7900 GRE. So it's between a 4070 and 4070 Super. So let's see on my list what we have between 4070 and 4070 Super. We got 1200, 1300. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good deal. I can go ahead and tag that in my list too. I'm at my maximum of 30 products though. Ning So Elisa, thanks for the sub. Karthik, Justin, you skipped my message above about the deal that was replying to tech. Karthik Ramesh. What did I miss? Unfortunately, no. When I tried to do that, it turned out to be $2,600 or so, not to mention 9800 X3D sold out. I think I read that. Oh, wait. Oh, I did miss this one. I'm sorry. CyberPowerPC. Let's check this out on Best Buy. $9,800 X3D, 2 terabytes of NVMe SSD storage, 4070 Ti Super. I wonder if this is that exact one that I have in my list. I knew it sounded familiar. I think I actually have this one on my list. Yeah, this one right here, I believe, is that $2,200 one. Yeah, it's that same one. But yeah, I agree. It's a good deal. So much, I agree so much that I put it on my list when I first started today. Karthik, if you decide to buy it on Best Buy instead of in my tagged list, actually, I'm going to go ahead and bring that to the forefront just in case anybody else is looking at that specific one. I have it pinned on here. But yeah, if you end up getting it on, deciding to get it on Best Buy, if you could go down into the description on this video and then click on Best Buy first and then make your purchase, it'll really help me out and I would really appreciate it. Rap Soldier, thoughts on the HP 45L? The HP 45L, I've actually reviewed twice. I reviewed it with the 3090 way back in the day, and then I reviewed the 4090 version. Forgot how long ago that was, but yeah, it's right now the 45L I have at the top as far as the best deal for a top tier PC, because the fact that they've kept it at $2,900 after Black Friday um, is pretty awesome. A lot of the other top tier PCs raise their prices after Black Friday or even during Black Friday. Karthik Ramesh, thanks Justin. Justin, absolutely. Tech renamed. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what I want to buy from Amazon. Tech renamed. Yeah, if you just copy the title of what you're looking at on Amazon, I'll paste that in my Amazon and see if I can find the same one you're looking at. Karthik Ramesh will do. I'll use the affiliate links. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Drawing my throat out with all this talking. I'm going to do another poll on here because that's always fun. How soon do you plan on buying a new gaming PC? This month? Next month? Actually, not question mark. This month, next month, within 3 months, within a year. Rap Soldier, thank you. 100 fire emoji, thumbs up, exclamation, exclamation. Absolutely. Jack G79, I'm trying to do the same thing with affiliate links, trying to find the best PC I can for $2,100. The one that I know for sure, best gaming PC that's just slightly more than that, the one that I've always just keep recommending is that Skytech Legacy with a 7800X 3D CPU and 4080 Super. That's an incredible deal. But to get closer to that $2,100 range, between the Alienware and the Skytech King 95, I'd actually go with the Skytech King 95. It's got a 7900 XTX, which is kind of in between what a 4070 Ti Super and 4080 would give you as far as an NVIDIA comparison. This one has a 7700X. This one right here has a slightly slower GPU, but if you're doing 1080p gaming, it's going to absolutely destroy anything else with that 9800X 3D CPU. But I'm guessing with a $2,100 budget, you're probably wanting to play at 1440p. Jack G79, can you link the Skytech Legacy? For any of you guys that is unaware, if you here, I'm going to show less. If you go underneath my video and then you click on more, or maybe you don't have to. I always thought you have to click on more in order to see these products, but on this page right now, it looks like it shows the products without having to click on more. Interesting, on live, you don't have to click on more, and then it puts the products at the bottom. I think on my other videos, you have to click on more before it shows you the products along the top. But yeah, if you scroll just a few down, this Skytech right here, it says 70 Ryzen 7 7000 series, but more specifically, it is the 7800X 3D CPU. But I'll go ahead and tag that one on here, so it'll be just on the video in the bottom left corner for you. Jack G79, I mostly play War Thunder, World of Tanks, and World of Warships. Tech renamed Asus Rogue Strix, or ROG. I never know if I'm saying that right. Is this the one that I was going to copy into Amazon, tech renamed? Pasting that into Amazon, I'm just getting a bunch of motherboards and not specific PC. Tech renamed, I'm going to give you standard moderator status so that you can just send the link. Alienware AW25 24 HF gaming monitor, 24.5 inch. Let me look that one up. $450 for that monitor. Normally I'd say that seems kind of high for a non-OLED, but 500 hertz is pretty insane. So if you're playing games that you actually get up to 500 FPS, that's going to feel insanely smooth. I've heard the iBUYPOWER Y40's motherboard has a low lifespan after heavy use. What motherboard replacement would you use? The one that I've always really liked is the MSI Pro Z790s, the Wi-Fi versions. I've always liked those. Kyle Payne, brother, I've been watching all your videos. I'm looking for the best computer that's going to last for gaming and streaming on multiple monitors. Budget under 3K after taxes. Mostly play Call of Duty. So with that budget, you're going to get some pretty awesome frames per second, because if you go with this HP Omen 45L, which is $100 under that budget, um, I didn't ask, is that budget including the multiple monitors or the gaming PC? Because that kind of changes things. But yeah, the HP Omen 45L is a top tier PC with an i9 and 4090 for $3,000. Um, a kind of AMD equivalent of that within that range. Let me go to my other list. I mean, if you can go, no, I'm not going to recommend that one for you. I guess I don't have many AMDs on this list right at that 3,000 range. The next one under that is that Skytech Legacy for 2450. That one, that's the one that I've been recommending the longest. I've been recommending that one on other videos for several months now, and they've locked it at that 2450 price. So that's a really good one if you're going AMD, or if you decide to game at 1080p. But I don't think you're going to be wanting to. I mean, even 1440p, it's a really good CPU. Um, but with games like Call of Duty, you're already getting high frames per second on games like that. Um, so I would tend to want to go as high resolution as possible, and that puts a lot more pressure on your GPU. Um, so for me, I would aim for the HP Omen 45L. All right. Not that I don't trust you, but I always copy links into a URL checker. All right, looks good. Got this PC here, the Montech King 95 Pro. Love that case. One good benefit with buying this case by itself, one thing that I was kind of disappointed in with the Skytech King 95 was that you don't get the other optional case options with it. So when you buy this, I'm sure you already know because you've probably done your own research, but you get this mesh panel with it just in case you decide to want to change up the look, or you want better thermals, because if you put a mesh on this front, it's going to give you some better airflow, which is nice. All right. Some crucial SSD, 5,000 megabytes per second. Seems pretty standard. I prefer the 990 Pros or the 980 Pros, which you can get up to around like 7,000 megabytes per second. But um, if you're not needing speeds that fast, if you don't copy large files often, then yeah, that's a pretty good SSD to get. NZXT Kraken. Just out of principle, I haven't really been wanting to recommend any NZXT things just because after watching Gamers Nexus's video on just how it had to have been very deliberately uh, misleading everything that they did with that Flex program. It's borderline fraud, all of the different bait and switching they did with that program. Here's that monitor. Yeah, these all look pretty legit. Pretty good legit choices. i9 14900K new. Directly from the Intel store. It's good. Asus ROG Strix Z790E gaming Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's a pretty good motherboard. It's got a PCIe. It's got a full-size PCIe slot that's lower, so it appears to me. Actually, no, it's got two more. So yeah, you'll for sure be able to add any expansion cards on that, even with a very thick GPU. All right. Q3 VU, where the link's at. If you go into the video and click on the description, you can see things that I have linked that aren't YouTube taggable. I've got regular manual links, but a lot of these say product link at top of video description. I guess I should say bottom now because they're underneath. Which I'm pretty sure they changed this, but yeah, if you go underneath the video, you can just scroll through all of these different PCs that I'm recommending. Jack G79, that Omen 45L hits eBay from time to time for 150 to 200 less than that as refurbished. I have yet to buy a PC on eBay. Just something about buying a used PC on eBay. It just seems like there's way too many different things that they could have bait and switched and replaced in that computer to save money or silently rip you off. So yeah, I tend to not really want to buy PCs from eBay. Kyle Pan, thanks Jack. Or Kyle Payne, thanks Jack. I'll check it. I had it ordered today, but they told me it'd be a month. Did I check out this link? Corsair Vengeance RAM, solid choice. I've used their RAM quite a few times. 6400 megahertz, very nice. Andrew Madeira, hey, I have a quick question. I just bought a PC with a 4080 Super and 9600X. Can that combo work with 4K gaming? Yes. Yeah, your PC is going to be like very heavily relying on that 4080 Super for 4K gaming. Um, so it doesn't really matter as much what your CPU is at that point. I mean, it still matters, but you're gonna be putting that GPU to work at 4K gaming, which is good because that's the most expensive part of your PC. Anytime people game with like 4080 Supers and 4090s and they don't go high res, just kind of baffles me because I feel like you're wasting the whole purpose of that super expensive and awesome GPU. Tech renamed 8 billion parameter model is a minimum of 8 gigabytes. I will download at least 20. Okay, this is kind of way over my head information. Download at least 28 billion parameter models, which will be 20 gigabytes each. I'll probably need storage. Here's one more Amazon link. Throat's getting dry. Chair IDK, are there cooling fans you'd recommend that are silent, that won't make that much noise and are effective at cooling the PC, or is it best to install liquid cooling on the PC? Yes, liquid cooling will be able to run fans at a lower RPM. So when you go up to liquid cooling, you will have a quieter system overall than if you were just air cooling your CPU. Could you check this Carter Salor, could you check this CyberPowerPC out? Want to know if this is a good deal. Pre-built PC GLX 99621. So I think you're the second person to ask me about this, and I'm looking on unless it's on Best Buy, but I'm looking on CyberPowerPC's website and it's showing out of stock. So let me copy this into Best Buy and see if they have it. No, it doesn't look like it's on Best Buy either. How about Newegg? Nope. I got iBUYPOWER Trace Mesh 7 gaming PC 4060 i7 14. Guessing you're saying 14700K. Is that good? Depends on the kind of gaming that you're going to be doing. A 4060 is going to have 8 gigabytes of VRAM in it, so I wouldn't game at 1440p with it. A 4060 is not that powerful of a GPU. And again, because of that 8 gigabytes of VRAM, you're not really going to be able to crank any graphic settings up past possibly medium with a decent frame rate. Fluted Oyster, how often should one upgrade their GPU? Like, is there a rule of thumb that people normally go by? I personally, as a gaming PC reviewer, if I wasn't given PCs every now and then, or I didn't buy things specifically to review, I would probably buy every 2 years just to get the latest GPU. So if I had a 3090, I would go to 4090. The 5090 is going to be significantly faster than the 4090. But most people, they're kind of in more modest budgets. I think the majority of the sales that I see are around the $2,000 range average. So in that range, you're probably looking at more like 3 to 4 years upgrading, I think. I get 240 on 5 nights high settings, 240 frames per second. with a 4060 GPU. That's pretty impressive. If you're curious, you can search up what text generation web UI is. Oversized pillow, the pre-built gaming PC GLX 99621 earlier this year, late summer, was on sale for $1,700 on Amazon, but then they increased their base price to match higher after the 7800X 3D price increased. Well, that makes sense. Oversized pillow, I bought it and had to return it as it was dead on arrival. Were you able to kind of diagnose what was wrong with it? Like which part do you think wasn't working properly? Is it the CPU or GPU, or did it just not turn on at all? Possibly a bad power supply. Tech renamed, you can chat like you're talking to a person, but with an AI character. It's crazy stuff, man. Yeah, some of the different things that I've seen with AI chat has just blown my mind. Tech renamed, honestly, I'd buy a 3,000 USD PC for a 4090 if it was pre-built. For a 4090 if it was pre-built. Yeah, I think one of the only PCs that you can buy right now, pre-built wise, with a 4090 for under 3,000 is going to be that HP Omen 45L. Everything else is pretty much several $100s above that $3,000 mark. Dash, I haven't really put the FPS limit to 360 or unlimited, so I don't know if it goes any further. Carter Salor at Oversized Pillow, so it was completely cooked. I grabbed it on Black Friday for $18.50, but have been worried about the quality. Kyle Payne looking for that Skytech link. I don't see it. Which Skytech link specifically? Oh, so you're talking about, if you go, you're probably talking about the Skytech Legacy within that price range that we were talking about for $24.50. I have it pinned. It's pinned. It's pinned on the video right now. You should be seeing it in the bottom left corner in a few seconds. If not, if you go underneath the description of my video, you can see these products, all the ones that I'm mentioning that are on my list. You can just scroll through. I believe the Skytech Legacy is about 6 down. Yeah, it's about 6 computers down. Carter Solar, I think it was the motherboard, but only did the basic troubleshooting they had me do when calling tech support. Oversized pillow. A ton of recent reviews at the time were citing dead on arrival, but the ones earlier in the year by reviews seem to be good. Yeah, sometimes like what's surprising is like that CyberPowerPC SLC 9000 BST from Best Buy that was on sale during Black Friday for $13.50. That one, and I think there's some other CyberPower PCs like it, that it was a specific SSD, a specific hard drive that they were using in that computer that didn't jive well with the latest Windows update. So I put a link on my YouTube video on how to fix it, and everybody that did that seems to be having good luck with theirs now. Kyle Payne, the comparable one to the 45L. Oh, I gotcha. So yeah, the Skytech Legacy is probably going to be the best one that I have on this list, comparable to that 45L. It's not going to have as high of a powerful of a GPU, but honestly, the only PC that you're going to find with a 4090 GPU under $3,000 is going to be that 45L. Oversized pillow, gotcha, thanks. Keep my fingers crossed. From Carter Salor. Andrew Madero, what would you recommend for at least a 240 hertz monitor that's OLED and is relatively cheap? Well, those two words in the same sentence are kind of tough. Uh, 240 hertz is the Alienware AW3423DWF gaming monitor. 240 hertz. I think it's 165 hertz, if I'm not mistaken. It's an incredible monitor. It's one of the best priced OLED monitors right now too. It's a widescreen. For only $650, 34 inches is a good deal. But as far as its refresh rate, pretty sure it's 165. Control F HC. Yep. 165 hertz only if you use the display port. HDMI is lower than that. But the best 240 hertz, I don't think you're going to find much inexpensively priced with 240 hertz OLED. Wait, when did it refresh? My refresh rate. QD OLED. Yeah, even that 27. Well, so that 27 inch is a little bit more, but it's OLED. See, I'd probably recommend this one. Maybe make a link for you on that one. Or I can just put it down here. I'm going to actually put that in my tagged list. Uh-oh. Where's that volume coming from? There we go. Here we go. All right. So I pinned that 27-inch OLED. That's probably going to be your best bet for decently priced. Char IDK, is the RTX 4090 still having melting cable issues, and is that due to overclocking or heavily maxing the GPU for long periods? And what other issues comes with running an RTX 4090? I only heard about those issues in extreme cases, and that was typically with overclocking, and it was with specific cable connectors that were not plugged in all the way, on the GPU. So it was like there's separation. So I mean, as long as your GPU is connected properly to the cords or to the cable plug, and you're using the proper cabling going to your power supply, which if you have a pre-built, it's already going to be set up for you the proper way. I don't think you should worry about that. Tech renamed. I see you've got a screen in your PC case. Can you zoom it in to see what displays and where can I get one? Plus, how much does it cost? So you're probably talking about for this Y60. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. So I think I need to step out of the frame for it to focus properly. Okay. So yeah, this is, I forgot where I got that heads-up display software, but I can send a link to the Amazon product that I got for that as an addition. If you want to just buy it pre-built, then you can get this Velstorm that I have linked right here. It's the same thing as what's right here, just already done for you, and it's actually going to be better as far as the screen. This is kind of like a third-party hack. It doesn't go all the way to the edges, and you can see like this little logo at the bottom of that brand, Wise Coco. But yeah, let me get that Amazon link for you. Yeah, this is that screen addition that I added to it. All right, so what comments on here did I miss? Also, now that I've talked about LLMs, what do I need to run Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane 12? I want to run LLMs, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Euro Truck Simulator. Well, Microsoft Flight Simulator is one of those kind of special games that ends up needing to, I mean, you can go, I don't think Microsoft Flight Simulator will ever be maxed out because they have so many settings on there that you can crank up past what any even future GPU or CPU can handle. So you can always get more and more powerful things for games like that, and it'll improve. But I would recommend something with more RAM. This HP Omen 45L, if you got this one, you would want to add additional RAM to that. I believe this CLX Horus already has a lot of RAM. Let me jump into that one. Yeah, this one already has 64 gigabytes of RAM. The Velstorm, you can kind of configure it how you want, but you can get up to 128 gigabytes for $5,000, which is a lot. So yeah, once you bring it down to like 64, it gets kind of more in a decent range. But yeah, most pre-builts I don't see coming higher than 32 gigabytes. I mean, the Corsair ones always do. If you go into my links, the i200 and 7500, they'll have 64. All right, what did I miss here? Chair IDK, Andrew Madeira, I saw a 240 hertz OLED monitor by AOC Agon Pro for 400 before Black Friday, but currently the price has gone back up to around 500 to 600. Maybe it'll go back down in price again. What's the best PC for me that's cheap, that has the above description? That has the above description. I mean, cheap kind of means different things to different people. But if you're talking about budget range, closer to like the $1,000, $2,000 range, um, I wouldn't go lower than like the Skytech Rampage is a good option because it's got a 7800 XT GPU, which is pretty fast for 1350. That's a really good one that I consider more of a budget PC. Carter Salor at Justin Tech. Meant to say I snagged the GLX 99621 for 1850. Wanted to know if you think the specs are good for the price point. Oh, gotcha. Let me refresh my memory again on those specs. All right, I think I still have it open. So $1,800, 7800X 3D, and a 4070 Super. I'd say that's maybe $100 more than I would have spent for it. Currently, the last CyberPowerPC that I recommended was at like $1,700. That was kind of right at um, that good deal price point. During Black Friday, it went down to $1,350. Only lasted there until 3 a.m. on Black Friday, and then it sold out. I wouldn't return it though. I mean, if you spend a little bit more money, then I would say that it's worth. I wouldn't beat yourself up about it. Andrew Madeira at Char IDK, I just checked that out. Thank you. Maximo Beast, I got the Bobo VR S3 Pro. Awesome. Congratulations. That is an awesome headset or attachment for your Quest 3. Kyle Payne, so if I get this Omen adding RAM because it's only 16 gigabytes, is it just plug and play and more hard drive because it's only 1 terabyte? That depends on how large of a game you play. You can technically run games off of even like a external hard drive. What an SSD is going to help you out with is load times. So if you don't have games that are huge, that 1 terabyte could be enough. But upgrading SSDs and RAM are like very, very easy things to do. The RAM, you literally like you put it in the slot. You see where there's like a little notch. You line up the slot to how low that notch is, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you start to put it towards the motherboard. But you'll see the two slits on the motherboard, and then it just clicks right in. And the SSD has little screws, tiny screws that you will need a small screwdriver to take those off, but is it difficult to Luke Williams, what should I do? Get a 4070 Ti Super or 4070 Super? Well, 4070 Ti Super is definitely going to be faster. Glowing Penguin, going to hide you because you're ridiculous. Don't need any inappropriate comments. Love Storms, I see that, LOL. Tech renamed universities provide a PC for machine learning. Carter Store, that was a slightly different one than GLX 9962. Mine has a 4070 Ti Super. Okay, well 4070 Ti Super is worth that extra money, so yeah, that's a good deal. I think a 4070 Ti Super is 10% faster than a 4070 Ti or a 4070 Super. Yep, about 10%. Lukey44, what PC would you recommend in the $800 mark? I have looked at HP Omen 35 for $840 and the CyberPower for $850. I really like the HP Omen 35L. I'm not sure the specific specs between the ones that you're referring to. But if I were to choose between HP Omen and CyberPower, I feel like an HP Omen would last longer. Um, it uses a higher quality power supply than CyberPowers usually do, but the motherboard on the HP Omen 35L is not upgradable. So if that's something that you want to do in the future, then I would go with the CyberPower. Kyle Payne, but I won't have to reconfigure anything in the computer like in the BIOS or settings, because if so, I'll buy it now and just upgrade later. No, you don't have to do anything in the BIOS when you upgrade RAM or your SSD, but you will if you want to enable XMP RAM. And what that does is it kind of overclocks your RAM. That is something that you'll want to do in the BIOS. And if you put in new RAM, I don't think that I'm not 100% sure if it saves the overclocking setting, the XMP overclocking settings for that RAM on your motherboard. I think you have to reapply those settings within your BIOS when you add a new motherboard or a new RAM. Tin Nick, I recently bought a new PC off of Newegg. Is there any way you can check it out and let me know if it's good, if it's cool? Um, yeah, if you want to, let me make you a standard moderator real quick. You can send me that link. I'll check it out. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Tech renamed. Do you want to become friends? Just asking. Sure. The Hohengaga. I did see this one. I saw that it was pre-ordered. You could pre-order it. So actually, I'm wondering why there's reviews on it when it's only a pre-order. Yeah, I've seen this one. I haven't it seems like one of the newer brands because I haven't personally had any experience with them. It appears like they've got decent reviews. But as far as price to performance, $1,000 with a 4060 5700X is a slower CPU. Yeah, I mean on paper, stats wise, it seems like a pretty decent deal. Andrew Madera, what price would you say I can sell my PC for? I have a Ryzen 7 5800X and an RTX 3070. I upgraded the RAM to 4 sticks of 8 gigabytes of DDR4, 3200 megahertz. That's a hard question. I have only sold PCs a couple of times and I did not get hardly any money from it. I did go through one of those like safer websites though. I actually sold everything through the Sell GPU website, which does kind of rip you off a little bit. I just don't feel comfortable selling on like third-party sites like eBay and things like that. Andrew Madera was an older HP Omen 30L. I don't think I have done a review on the 30L. I've done a 25L, 15L, 45L, 40L. I haven't actually done a 30L review. Lukey44, would you spec the Omen 35 with a Ryzen 5 or Intel 5? It would be used to game and do schoolwork as well. Also, what would be a good budget monitor? $100. So $100 monitor, you're definitely gonna need to go LCD. Yeah, there's not really I wouldn't say you'd get a decent monitor for $100. Pretty much all of them are above 100. I mean, I guess there is this AS Rock Phantom gaming monitor. AS Rock is a good brand too, so this would probably be what I'd go with for that budget. Would you spec the Omen 35 with the Ryzen 5 or Intel 5? I'd go Intel 5. So as far as what's your overall budget, Lukey44? Is it worth it upgrading a 4070 Ti Super to a 4080 Super, or should I just get the RTX 4090 for that 8 extra VRAM? Yeah, a 4070 Ti Super, I believe, is about 20% faster, or 4080 Super is about 20% faster than 4070 Ti Super. So it is a pretty significant upgrade. About 16%. Let me close some of these tabs down and we'll look at the GPU charts. 4070 Ti Super, 4080 Super. So you can see like the average Tom's Hardware between those GPUs with 19 games. I mean, it's a significant upgrade, but yeah, you're talking about that aside from the 4090, it's just way ahead of the gang when it comes to the 4090. So yeah, if you have enough money, I'd go with the 4090. Um, I I don't think an average of 10 frames per second at 4K is worth spending money on, but when you're going from 60 average to 90 average, that's an insane jump. Kyle Payne grabbing this Omen somewhere to refer you for grabbing this Omen somewhere to refer you for a commission. Are you asking if there's somewhere that one of these, so if you buy from this link right here, I'll get a commission. If you click on, if you go in the description, if you want to buy from somewhere else, if you buy from Best Buy or Newegg or HP directly, clicking on any of these links for any of these stores and then making your purchase, just going into the search bar within that website and then searching for that computer, I'll get a commission. I really appreciate you guys asking questions like that too. It means a lot. Nick Dobe, Kyle Payne, click the link. Oh, he just answered it too. Tin Nick, thanks boss. No problem. Dropped a son and follow. Appreciate it. Thanks for the sub. Tech renamed, I'd see you soon, man. Thanks for answering my questions. No problem. Before I go though, how hard is it to build a PC yourself? Can you give me a guide or explain? It's definitely not something that I can explain very quickly, but I do have a fun video that I can send you of me and my wife building a gaming PC using the Corsair build kit. And actually, to show how easy it was, she knows nothing about computers, so she was able to do it. And then I actually did the entire thing blindfolded. So that's a pretty funny video. I'll send you a link to that. And that basically shows you all the steps that we took to build a gaming PC. Andrew Madeira, I appreciate your insight, man. Keep doing you, brother. Will do. Tech renamed. Also, can you do a review for the ROG Asus C790, the motherboard you've seen earlier from my links? I don't typically review only motherboards. I think if I do a motherboard review in the future, I'll probably purchase a whole bunch of them, and then do like a really cool overall motherboard comparison video. I think that's what people kind of relate to the most and want to watch the most, because anytime I show all of the products, all the competing products, it proves that I'm not being biased towards one specific brand, that I'm giving all of them equal exposure and showing the pros and cons of each. And it's so much information in one video that I think people like it because it helps them save time. Sriracha Swift. Oh, did I skip a question? Oh, it keeps, anytime I refresh, it moves to top chat. And I think top chat removes or like filters out some questions. So I'm going to go to live chat and then scroll up to Sriracha. Where did I miss? I don't see a question from you. Can you repeat your question, Sriracha? John D212, if you buy a Corsair build kit, do they offer support if you get stuck building it? That's a good question. I don't think if you call technical support, I bet you that if you explain the issue you're having, they will probably help you out with that. I mean, you get a 2-year warranty on it, so you're covered on all the parts for 2 years, which is pretty awesome. But that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure on that. Sriracha Swift, I'm considering a Corsair i7 500 before I make the purchase, is there any better option? Um, I mean, that is for an i9 4090 PC, that's quality wise and the 2-year warranty that you get, that's one of the top ones that I recommend. If you're not wanting to spend as much money, then I would definitely go with the HP Omen 45L because you'll save, what is it, like $600 or $700 versus the same specs version from a Corsair. Um, but the Corsair PC will be more upgradable. It'll have off-the-shelf parts, higher quality parts. The HP Omen will have the Omen 45L will have a proprietary motherboard and a proprietary power supply. But as far as better than the Corsair Vengeance, I mean it's either that or the i8-200. The i8-200 is bigger. It comes with, I believe, more um, SSD storage. Um, it's got an extra fan, one more than the i7 500. I definitely think the i8-200 is a lot cooler looking than the i7 500. But yeah, the i8-200 is going to be more expensive though. But as far as how long the PCs will last, I think they'll both last about the same amount of time. Uh, but yeah, I've always just really loved this design. Char IDK is a 180 hertz monitor, great for every other game that's not a competitive first-person shooter game. Yeah, there's a lot of games, especially once you go up to 1440p and 4K, that still never even reach frames per second as high as 180 FPS. Once you crank up settings all the way up to ultra, and you start doing um, ray tracing and things like that. How do I know which 4090? Sriracha Swift says, how do I know which 4090 I'm receiving? Example, Asus PNY Giga. Usually with most pre-builts, you're not going to know. They're not going to, it's based on what is available. HP and Alienware, they have their own proprietary versions of the NVIDIA GPUs, so theirs are always going to be consistent. But if you go into Newegg, AVGPC, or not AVGPC, actually I think I have one of those PCs. Let me go to my links real quick. There's a specific brand from Newegg that actually lists them out. ABS, that's what it was. So if you go into any of these ABS links underneath my description, you can see down here they actually give you the exact model motherboard, the exact model SSD, the cooler, the power supply. They tell you that the GPU is the Gigabyte GeForce. So that's one thing that I really respect about Newegg's in-house pre-built gaming PC, is that you know exactly what you're getting. Digital Storm used to say if you tell them what you'd like for a GPU when you order it, they would try to use it if it's available. Well, that's good. I know, unfortunately, on Best Buy, they don't have their disclaimers at the forefront, so a lot of people get, um, not a lot of people, there's a percentage of people in the reviews that complained that they didn't get the exact GPU that they thought they were going to get because most of the time, or a lot of the time in the pictures for Best Buy, they end up showing the GPU that's the most popular. A lot of times with the top tier pre-builts, they'll show the Founders Edition versions of the GPU, which is a little unfortunate, but if people read everything in the description of these products, they would understand. Most people in this industry understand that you're not going to get a specific GPU brand when you order these pre-builts. John D212, Digital Storm used to say if you, oh wait, you already said that. So the message that popped up from Suki, I guess she retracted it. But yeah, I remember there was a Corsair Vengeance i7-500 that had some really bad reviews, unfortunately, because it's a great PC, but it got bad reviews on Best Buy because people were one-starring it because they thought they were going to get a Founders Edition GPU. Suki, do you got a pre-built for R5 7600X with RTX 4060 Ti for $1? $1, it might be kind of tough to get it for $1. 1K. 4060 Ti, yeah, I believe I do have one on my list that is, I think it's 1100. Let me double check. 4060 Ti. No, actually I have a almost $1,000 with a 4070, which is awesome. But this iBUYPOWER Trace Mesh has a 4060 Ti and a Ryzen 7700. That's a pretty good PC for the price. Let me pin that for you so you don't have to search for it. It should pop up in the lower left-hand corner of your video here in a second. John Legend says, money no object, what's the most expensive pre-built you're buying? If money was no object, my absolutely favorite PC, if you scroll all the way down on this list at the bottom, the best of the best gaming PC links, the CLX Raw with a hardline open looped. This one from Best Buy is actually currently out of stock, I believe. Yeah. You can see the images on it, how beautiful it is. It's got a liquid cooled GPU. Obviously the CPU's liquid cooled as well. This thing is beautiful. Obviously very expensive. You can't see the price on here. I guess it doesn't even show what the price used to be. If you go to CLX's actual website though, I have a link here, and on here I tell you everything that you need to click on to get to the exact configuration that I'm talking about, but it's a $7,000 PC. Actually, no, so it's $7,000 on Best Buy. If you get it on CLX and bring the configuration customizations down a little bit, then you can get it, I think, for 6,300. So CLX Raw, or no, CLX Foundry, that's where it was. So you click on that, you scroll down just a little bit until this shopping button pops up. Shop now, there it is. And all the way at the bottom of this page, there she is. Beautiful. This would be my my choice if I had unlimited money. If you go to customize, you can choose the white version, but I think the black version just looks so much better. Here's the white version. Still looks pretty cool, but and then yeah, you can go in here and change your configurations, bring things down. I believe it had secondary storage, 4 terabytes. Yeah, you don't need that much. Throat's getting dry. Clark Manuel, if I had 1700, what parts can I get? Not pre-built though. 1700. Well, looking at these pre-built prices, you can kind of get a rough range on what you could get specs wise. So you would basically look up a little bit higher than what we're finding a pre-built for. So you could, for 1700, you could probably get a PC with a 7800 X3D and 4070 Super. You can get that PC with the Skytech King or the King 95 case. You can get that for 1700 once you put all the pieces together for that. So yeah, 7800 X3D CPU and 4070 Super. That's going to be a pretty pretty powerful gaming PC setup. Char IDK. I was looking at ROG Ally X display at Best Buy, and it was so jarring seeing how small Windows 11 was on the screen. Hoping they make bigger handheld screens in the future. John D212 6300 a steal. Yeah, it's definitely expensive, but it's beautiful. Yeah, they had 2 weeks before, actually a week before Black Friday, when I was scripting some of the videos, like the best of 3000, the best of 4000 video. The version of that PC was still available at Best Buy. And you could get it quicker on Best Buy, but yeah, that version was $7,000 because it had um, the extra storage, extra RAM, and things like that. Just way more than anybody would ever need, but it's beautiful. Char IDK, I'm interested in getting a PC handheld out. However, I'm not sure how much they can improve on the performance of these handhelds as they make newer iterations in the future. Yeah, I've never really had like the best experience with handhelds. I've always felt like the handhelds just had a little bit too much latency whenever I moved something on the controller, so it kind of it just wasn't my thing, the latency that I got with streaming with a handheld. Clark Manuel, how long will a top-of-the-line PC usually last until needing to upgrade? Well, I mean, even if you get an i9 4090, which you could have gotten a year ago, uh, actually even 2 years ago, an i9 4090 PC was super fast. Even going into next gen, I think getting a top tier PC, you can go 4 years without needing to upgrade. I mean, you always want to upgrade when there's new GPUs that come out. Like this 5090 is going to be way faster than the 4090, but would you need to upgrade? No, you wouldn't need to upgrade. But you will notice a significant improvement to upgrade. Um, how much do I think the 5090 is going to cost? Whew. I'm predicting $500 more than the current 4090s are, and then the 4090s will drop in price by maybe $300 or $400. So there'll be like maybe a 7, I'm thinking like a 7 or 800 gap is what I'd predict. But then as soon as the scalpers buy up all the GPUs, to buy one of those GPUs, you'll have to buy it like third party, which is going to be like extra expensive. So decently priced at MSRP. I'm predicting more like middle of next year when you can actually get them at MSRP. Clark Manuel, I have an AMD 7600X with a 7800X GPU. Is an upgrade needed? It's depending on how much you're wanting to spend. 7800 XT would be a nice upgrade from that. So you're at a 7800. Oh, let me see 7800X on here. Obviously, the XTX is going to be your best bet, but I'm not sure how much money you have. Do you think an i5 14400F is good for gaming? It's not terrible. What's the GPU that you've got, Suki? Clark Manuel, John Legend, probably 1200. Oh no, 59 is going to cost way more than $1,200. Let me see what the predictions are online right now. Interesting. Rumors are that the 5090 is expected to cost $1,900 MSRP. The current 4090s right now are more than that. Let's go on Newegg. Let's see what. Lowest price 4090, $10. NVIDIA. Oh, see price and cart. I hate when they do that. Let's go Best Buy then. This kind of confirms that they are oh, maybe they're not discontinuing them. Could be just a Black Friday thing. No, for all the 4090s to be sold out like this and you can only get them in pre-builts right now, that kind of tells me they did stop making them because it wasn't like this last year. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that they've already stopped making the 4090s so that they can kind of make room, artificially increase the demand ahead of time. Okay, if you have a 7800 XT, that's still a pretty good GPU. So an i5 14400F with a 2070 GPU. Yeah, I would definitely upgrade the GPU on that. Jack, thanks for the sub. Clark Manuel, oh, my PC ain't even worth that. Check Micro Center, better pricing. Okay. Let's see if Micro Center even has any 4090s. So they've got some in-store only GPUs to buy. Yeah, all these are in-store only. 2 Asus, 1 MSI. All right, I need to close some of these tabs or else I'm going to lose. GPU should only be sold in person. I definitely agree that when a new GPU comes out, they shouldn't allow scalpers to just suck them all up, because that has become an issue, especially when Ethereum was all proof of work and they had all of those GPUs just buying all of them up to produce Ethereum. Or to mine Ethereum, that was not a good time to be a gamer. PC showed with the R7 7700 RX 4060 Ti sold out. Was that one on Walmart? Because somebody else said it sold out, but then I went to it and it still said that it was available. The 77, yeah, the iBUYPOWER trace mesh from Walmart. Yeah, add it to my cart real quick and see if it goes in. Oh, you're right. I wonder if someone from this stream bought the last one. Because, yeah, now after I add it to my cart in checkout, it does say sold out. That's unfortunate. Well, the closest one to that one, I mean, for only $90 more, you can get a 4070, which is significantly faster than a 4060 Ti. The Yayan. Oh, do I not have that one in the links? That one doesn't look tagged. Oh, did that one go out of stock too? Yeah, that one must have gone out of stock. Is this pre-built good for gaming? MSI Aegis ZS2, liquid-cooled gaming desktop, AMD Ryzen 9 7900X, GeForce RTX 4070 Super 12 gigabytes. That is a pretty good one for gaming. 4070 Super is pretty powerful. Clark Manuel, they should limit a one per person in-store purchase for all new GPUs. I 100% agree with that. Suki, never mind. Yeah, Walmart. Clark Manuel, but at the same time, I can just tell 5 people to get it for me. LOL. I think most people are not very likely to do that though. They're not very likely to want to bother other people to buy something for them like that. Buena Vida Adventures, pulled trigger on R16, 44 RAM. Did I mess up? 44 RAM. What do you mean by 44 RAM? Oh, sorry, 64 RAM. You clarified. I wouldn't say you messed up. I'm not sure what, if you want to send the link for that, depends on how much you paid for it. 64 gigabytes, you don't really need that much for gaming, but if you do content creation, it can be helpful. I'm going to make you a standard moderator so you can send me the link to what you're talking about. Oh, for 3,200. Well, I just need to read further down before I ask questions. $3,200. So I'll need to know the CPU and GPU. Justin, I ordered from Best Buy the Celix set with AMD 9800X 3D 4080 Super for $3,100. What do you think? Yeah, you got a nice PC. 98. Actually, I think that's on my list, right? No, it's the Celix Horse. The Celix set I had in a different video. No, that's a pretty awesome combination. Obviously, you didn't get like the top tier super fast GPU, but a 4080 Super is an amazing GPU. Adam Duncan, is there a way to know that you got the commission? I followed your link to buy the 34-inch Alienware monitor on December 3rd. December 3rd. So sometimes there is like a delay. Best Buy, usually I know by that day it'll show me the transactions that happened. Sometimes it can take a few days for them to show up, but if you used the link for Dell, I think Dell was pretty instant. Let me see. It'll show me if there was an Alienware purchase that day. So did you use my product tag or link, or was it a different Dell link? If it was the product tag within my YouTube video underneath my description, where you saw like the picture of the monitor, that'll show up somewhere else in 2 different spots. It is interesting though, because I do know that there are a lot of things that can break a link from tracking, unfortunately. And I have run into issues before where I knew people were telling me they were buying stuff with my links, and with the amount of views I was getting on certain videos, it didn't make sense that I wasn't getting sales. So I actually did my own purchasing with my links just to test it and saw that it wasn't working. So I'm able to keep brands honest with their sometimes seemingly convenient tracking mistakes, just by occasionally. All right, before I dig in to find out if that went through, I'm going to read some more of these questions real quick. Clark Manuel, just build it. Took me 5 hours to do, but was all worth it. I got to save $300. Daniel Uribe, Justin, I ordered from a best. Oh, you already told me that. I bought a Y40 and it won't run Call of Duty at over 40 FPS. What should I do? What are your current specs on that PC, TDG? Oversized pillow, 64 gigabytes is great for gaming if you like to have infinite tabs open on another monitor, Discord open, or other things going on. Yeah, it's true. I mean, infinite tabs on, yeah, Google Chrome sucks up a lot of memory once you start adding a lot of tabs. Clark Manuel, 64 gigabytes of RAM is something I regret. I never even got up to 20 gigabytes. Yeah, every time I do gaming tests, even like the highest RAM usage games usually go up to like right at that 16 gigabytes range. Suki, is there a PC you said for $90 more with an RTX 4070 sold out too? Let me dig more into that. Maybe I just forgot to link it. Yeah, because in this description here, I clearly listed a Yayan Tanto when I was researching good deals today. I don't see it on there. I don't think it would just disappear completely from my description if it went out of stock. Let me see. It had a i5 and 4070. Oh no, it is still available. Okay, let me add that to my list again. Here we go. I have it tagged on this video now. Actually pinned it, so it should pop up in the bottom left corner of this video within a few seconds. Buena Vida, did you buy that at this price, 3,900? Because yeah, for a small proprietary Alienware pre-built, that is overpriced, 3,900. It was set to $3,000 the day before Black Friday, and then that price quickly went away, like right as Black Friday started. Um, so yeah, I can't recommend it at this price for sure. This is $900 more than it was the day before Black Friday. And that was the reason I was recommending it, just because that's such a good price to performance ratio. And when I did my full review on this PC, I did it at 3 different configurations. Because it was priced so well at that point, it had, I think at that time, it had the best price to performance ratio out of any gaming PC. Right now, the best price to performance ratio top tier build is definitely the Omen 45L. Clark Manuel, Alienware is a bit too overpriced for me. Input the parts list and PC part picker and check the difference on the price. Yeah, I've done that in the past. I don't have time to do that for every part on this stream, but if other people want to do that to compare Alienware prices, then they should do that. Especially if, I mean, you're definitely going to find that once you put in all of these specs in PC Part Picker, it's going to be way less than this $3,900. So this is Alienware is now overpriced for their top tier 4090 i9 combo. Kyle Payne, I just bought the Omen, if that's the one you're talking about. You bought the Omen 45L or the 35L? Buena Vida Adventures. I saw your videos about proprietary hardware, but I don't want to tweak with things even though I'm not intimidated with building. Yeah, if you're not intimidated, if you don't want to deal with any of that, then proprietary is definitely the way to go for you. Mr. Chips, okay. Sus. Okay. Adam Duncan, yes, I used your link. Awesome, appreciate it, man. TDG Mac Dabbers, it's got a 4070 12 gigabyte Intel i7 14700F. That's all I know. Really, it's only 2 days old, and I got an Acer Nitro monitor, 180 megahertz. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good PC. Let me go back up to your original question in context. Wait, so TDG, you're saying that with a 4070 and an i7 14700F, you're only getting 40 FPS with Call of Duty? That doesn't seem right. So do you have your fans all set to performance mode? Is your power mode? So if you go into here and you type in power, choose a power plan. Are you set to ultimate? When you're gaming, you definitely want to be set to ultimate or high performance. I always set mine to ultimate when I'm gaming. If you have it set to balanced, then your gameplay is going to be super low. If you have XMP RAM, you want to enable that in the BIOS. I'm trying to think of other things I mean, you obviously probably don't have other things running in the background while you're playing your game, but I would check your startup apps to see if any of those are kind of bogging you down. Because yeah, you should be getting more than 40 FPS with that kind of GPU. Are you running at 4K? Bob Bill, what pre-built PC would you recommend not to buy? Thanks. Well, after Gamers Nexus's video, I wouldn't buy NZXT now just out of principle. I wouldn't buy like the older Alienware Aurora R16s if they have any like old ones on eBay or Amazon or anything like that, because those got super hot. What's another one that's just not a good brand? I tend to only look for the PCs that I think that I possibly will most likely like. Because I feel like even giving attention to lower quality no name brands isn't as good of a use of my time. Buena Vida Adventures, nope, 3200. Okay, good. So you didn't get it for that insane price they have it right now. That's good. Wow, so 4 terabytes, 30. Yeah, so that's a good deal. Good job on that one. Yeah, I think so. You probably bought that R16 right before Black Friday, got that 3,000 base price, and then just adding in your extra SSD storage brought you up to 3,200. So yeah, you got a good deal there. Suki, is the i5 14400F better than the 13400F? It's barely better. The i9 the i9 13th gen and 14th gen are not that much different, but the i7 and i5 are a little bit better. TDG McDabbers, most of my games miss textures or run less than 60 FPS. And yeah, most of your games miss textures? Yeah, that should not be happening. I'm trying to think of another reason that you could be having bad performance. Have you checked your temperatures to see if thermals are getting hot for some reason? Like maybe there's some sort of like thermal paste issue where there's not like complete contact with the CPU and your water cooler. Make sure your fans on your GPU are functioning properly. Because, yeah, you should be getting more than that. Clark Manuel, probably something wrong with via game setting. What's the cheapest gaming PC you can get? I mean, cheapest that you'll have to run extremely low settings on my list. TDG McDabbers, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. So the cheapest on my list, so actually, I think I just removed it recently because it's so far down there. A lot of people haven't been asking about PCs that low. I tend to not. I mean, I don't like to get gaming PCs that don't even have a dedicated GPU. They just have an integrated one. So for decent gaming, um, the Thermaltake LCGS Quartz i350, I have that on my list right here. You won't be able to have, with a 350, you're not going to have like the best, you're not going to have very good graphics, but it'll run every game that you throw at it. Should pop up in your bottom left corner here in a little bit. TDG McDabbers, I stopped all the startup stuff, but I'm pretty new to PC and no, not 4K. So are you at 1440p or 1080p? And maybe play around with your preset gaming settings. Oh, one thing that I remember with Call of Duty is sometimes I've accidentally clicked on the slider for what's the setting called? Display resolution. So you could accidentally have that past 100%. If that went to like 200%, then you'd be essentially rendering 4 times the pixels uh, than you're wanting. So you'll have your setting to 1080p gaming, but then if you have that render resolution set higher than 100, then you're basically like just really making that computer work way harder than it needs to when you're not actually seeing those pixels. Clock Manuel, is CyberPower good? CyberPower is a good budget-friendly brand. People that push CyberPower too hard, the most common issue that I've seen a couple years later down the road is the power supply giving out on them. But it's only like maybe $100 fix, a little bit more if you're like gaming with a top tier CyberPower PC that needs more power, like a 4090 version. But yeah, those aren't very difficult to replace, and they're also not that expensive. How well does an i9 14900F and RTX 4070 Super PC do for gaming at 1440p and 4K? I think I have a few PCs that I have actually tested with those exact configurations. Let me find them real quick for you. I've done a whole lot of i9 4090 tests. So for example, I'll use Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 at 1080p when I had an i9 4080 Super combo. I got 183 frames per second at 1080p with Ultra. These were the maximum graphic presets, so like all the beautiful settings cranked up. And then I'm gonna go to 1440p. I got 120 FPS with Ultra presets on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And then at 4K with an i9 4080 Super combo. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong game. Let me redo that. I was looking at Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk requires significantly more juice than Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So I got 195 FPS at HD, 152 at 1440p, and then 96 at 4K with ultra maximum graphic presets. But yeah, that's the closest that I have to an i9 4070 Super combo. Like I said, most of them are i9 4090s, and that was what I got with i9 4080 Super combinations. Red is awesome. What's the best PC for beginners? Getting pre-builts like Alienware and HP are great for beginners because they're great price to performance ratio PCs, and they're not really for people that want to be able to upgrade every single thing in their PC. They'll have more issues with upgrading the motherboard, or it'll be more difficult to upgrade the motherboard on a HP machine. You can't actually upgrade the motherboard with anything other than a Dell motherboard on an Alienware. Buena Vida Adventures. How new of a company is Thermaltake? Thermaltake's been around for a while. They're more well known for their fans and their liquid cooling systems. But they've been around for a while. Bob Bill, what spec Bob Bill, what specs would you recommend in a PC for gaming, specifically sim racing? So sim racing, you also want to have a monitor with a high refresh rate because when you're zooming past all of those moving objects, you kind of get like this stuttering effect if you don't have a monitor that allows you to see your high frames per second. So depending on if you're so you're doing sim racing, that usually requires multiple monitors, I'm assuming, which requires a high resolution output on your gameplay. So you'll definitely want one of these PCs with a 4090. Um, Obviously, the least expensive pre-built with a 4090 is that HP Omen 45L. But if you want to go all out on a PC with better cooling, longer lasting parts, then like the CLX for 4400. But one that I've also reviewed many times are the Corsair Vengeance series, the i7-500 and the i8-200. The i8-200 is going to give you more flexibility for upgrading in the future. It's bigger, it looks better. But the i7-500 is what I've seen the most sold over the past years when it comes to top tier pre-builts. It's not the best price to performance ratio. It's pretty expensive. The i8-200 is even more expensive. But yeah, this is what I would get for sim racing. And that's in the description below. Spore 3 Frog, thanks to you, I got the HP 45L because I'm plugging it into my giant nanocell TV. Nice. And we'll basically use it for 4K gaming console to start. Nice. That's awesome. Well, glad I could help you out with that. FPV Fly, do you recommend putting a clear shell from Extreme Rate on my Switch? On my son's Switch, we put a protective cover just because accidents happen, and when you're carrying something like that around consistently, it'll break. I think there's still a crack on his. I'm not sure where that came from, but if you could get a cover that covers the screen too, that's always a better bet. So if you're talking about a clear shell that's like also closing in on the front that doesn't distort what you're looking at, that'll be best. FPV Fly, it won't let me send the link. I'll make you a... Oh, so you are a standard monitor. You should be able to send a link as a standard moderator. Tanner Horace, can you find a good Fortnite under 500? I wouldn't say good. The one that I had on my list, yeah, I don't like to recommend PCs without dedicated GPUs. I have one on my list just because there's people with very, very tight budgets. I'll go ahead and put that back on the tagged lists. Because, yeah, that one was for 430. All right, I just pinned that. It should show up in the bottom left of the screen. But you can also go underneath the description and just scroll all the way to the right, and it'll be the last one. Whoops. Yep, that one. It looks like right now it's available for pre-order. Its release date is December 20th. Oh, for the GT, which is slightly faster than the G. Pre-order for both of them though. WWE fan 15, yo, what's going on? I remember you from the Black Friday stream. Char IDK, Amazon just released a discount for i7-14700K CPU at $283. That's pretty awesome. WWE fan 15, is NZXT Prime 2 worth it? You know, I've stopped recommending NZXT just because of everything that I've learned recently. I haven't personally had bad experiences with their specific PCs, but based on just kind of the very snake-like practices with their Flex program, I don't really like to recommend them anymore just because it's really a shame how much they've deceived people and they're ripping people off with that program. And the bait and switch tactics that they used to give people less than what they thought they were getting. Spore 3 Frog, what should be the first thing I upgrade on my HP 45L? It's supposed to be here too on December 17th. I'm stoked. Awesome. Congratulations. The first thing I would upgrade on that would be the RAM at 16 gigabytes of RAM. If you go 32 gigabytes, that'll be better long term for you. FPV Fly, the link is too long to send. Do you want to tell me the site that you're, the site of the link that you're on, and then you can just tell me the product and I can do a little search for it. Spore 3 Frog, I used your link too to buy my HP, by the way. Love, love, love. Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Y60 iBUYPOWER with a 14900F and at $1,400. That's I mean, I haven't heard the GPU yet, but $1,400 with a 9.9 is pretty awesome. Extreme rate. I've never heard of this site before. Is this a UK site? I see the UK flag. I don't see a full shell. Maybe I need to type in case. There we go. Ooh, that one's cool. Lets you like see into it. Oh, replacement. That's a replacement. These are pretty good prices for full shell replacements. What software should I install to protect against malware? I haven't researched too much about the best sites for that, or the best software for that. I get virus protection companies and especially VPN companies reaching out to do sponsored videos, but it just seems like there's so many of them right now to decipher through all of them and to see if it's worth doing a video on. I just haven't had time for it yet. TTG McDabber, sorry for the late response. I'm on 1440p. Okay. Yeah, still at 1440p, you should be getting better FPS than what you were telling me you were getting. Gabriel Tasas, the 45L looks very good. Some upgrades here and there to some of the components will take it to the next level. Larry Lighton, do you recommend 9700 XTX or 4080 Super? Also, what CPU would you recommend for the one that you say is best? I would go 4080 Super over the XTX. Um, but as far as the CPU, if you when you get a GPU that's that powerful, um, you could kind of go either or when it comes to the Intel or AMD. Um, Kind of depends on the price difference between them. The AMD 9800X 3D will come on a motherboard that will have more life to it because currently the i9-14900KF Intel CPUs, that's basically the last CPU that works on the Z790 motherboard. If you ever upgrade in the future, your Intel CPU, you're going to have to upgrade the motherboard as well, because all the newest Intel CPUs uh, require a new motherboard. But I don't recommend the newest Intel CPUs, the 200K series. So hopefully the series after this current Intel generation, I'll be able to recommend. But yeah, as far as the Intel CPUs that I actually recommend, it stops at the 13th and 14th gen. FPV Fly, I think it's like a switch replacement. Yeah, yeah, I don't think those were covers at all. But I really like those ones that you can see through, and $28 was a pretty good price. Spore 3 Frogs, should I get one RAM over another, or is it just RAM is RAM? No, there's definitely better quality. Corsair RAM is good. Um, what's another one that I really like? What's the one in? Oh yeah, the T-Force Delta. I've seen a lot of those. That's good RAM. Um, there isn't any specific that I would stay away from, but I always like RGB RAM. I think it looks good in these RGB cases. Yeah, I can't really say that there's a specific brand of RAM that I've personally tested that I can say stay away from. But I see a lot of the T-Force Delta and a lot of the Corsair. Larry Light and 4080 Super. I agree. Oh, you're just clarifying what you meant there. FPV Fly and not Switch Lite. FPV Fly, I think I already ordered it. WWE fan, is this a good PC? The iBUYPOWER RDY60 with the Intel Core i9-14900KF and a 4070 Super. Yes, that is good PC. What what's the resolution of the game that you plan on playing, or the games that you plan on playing? Personally, I'm not looking forward to the Switch 2 if it turns out that it can't run most next-gen games. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of asking a lot for a handheld to run next-gen games. I think it's always going to be a a downgrade from console. Uh, but I think they also are smart enough to know which specific gaming settings that they can tone down a little bit for a handheld that you won't notice as much so that the game runs really well. They're really good at optimizing things for specific devices so that it feels like a similar gaming experience. Probably 1080p. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely going to get some really good FPS with that spec, with those specs. WWE fan. Spore 3 Frog, RGB RAM, got it, thanks. FPV Fly, I'm going to go, thanks for dedicating all the time for us, no problem. Larry Lighten, thanks. Absolutely. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night as well. I plan on doing, I think I'm going to try to do a stream like this every Saturday for the rest of this month. So if you guys have other questions, just check and see next Saturday if I do this. I'm pretty sure that I will be. But otherwise, you guys have an awesome night, and thanks for being part of the chat.